E-man, fuck a damn suit. Hey, it's Jody's corner. Yeah, hey.
YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Jody Joe. Welcome to Jody's Corner. Thank you guys so very much for being here. I'm Jody Joe and I'm back, baby. It's so good to be back. I tell you what. And I'm here with the Just Us League special guest, Tarian Rain is in the building.
The best guest.
Oh. The best guest, huh?
The best guest.
Okay. Welcome, Tarian. It's good to have you here.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, I know you are. Flash is here, y'all.
Yep.
E.
What's poppin'?
Sal Ward. My main man, Virgo King.
Mr. Steel Girl is back.
And the code.
I have arrived. Let's get it.
We the Just Us League. Let's go with this review. Go. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. This is going to be a spoiler-free review. Have no fear. We won't spoil. Ain't that right, E? For sure. This is a synopsis. Let me get the synopsis out the way before we have this discussion. Synopsis. The events of No Way Home lead us to Doctor Strange trying to find and get his charisma back. And the events of WandaVision from Disney Plus all tie into one movie to where Doctor Strange has to figure out basically how to keep the multiverse from imploding onto itself and everything that leads from it. Where this new person named America Chavez could be the key to unlocking the mysteries of the multiverse, while Wanda and Doctor Strange are put at pivotal positions to figure out who will dominate the multiverse and life as we know it. Okay. Now that the synopsis is out the way, how do we feel about this movie? First impressions. First impressions, who wants to go first?
I'll go.
Go, E.
I enjoyed this movie. This movie was dope. It had a lot of eye candy. It was very tasteful. Better than the fucking Batman completely.
Oh, he taking shots at Batman already. Fun.
Stay on topic.
I love this movie, man. It was dope. I
loved it.
Think that
Oh,
was gonna be
oh.
like it was. You know, I was surprised by it, but this movie is very good, man. I mean, the things happening in this movie surprised the shit out of me.
All right, he loved it. Flash, what about you?
The movie was pretty good. Yeah,
Pretty
I
good?
enjoyed it. It was a couple of scenes in there that I loved a lot, and it was some that I didn't like too much. But overall, it's a good movie.
First impressions, Tarian.
The movie was very dark, like I had assumed that it was going to be. It had a lot of stuff.
Man, I was shocked at that.
It had a lot of stuff in there that I would think is going to shock a lot of people who plan on going to watch this movie. A lot of surprises, I'm not going to say because this is spoiler free. A lot of stuff that they put in there I was actually surprised by. I would actually say that for those of you who are fans of Wanda, I think y'all are going to get your cup ran over with her character and her portrayal in this movie. Shout out to Elizabeth Olsen and her portrayal of this character. She did the damn thing.
Elizabeth Olsen is a snack in this movie. Seeing her in the full Scarlet Witch stuff, beautiful. Her full costume with that makeup, this is the best that I've seen her look in the MCU as Virgo is hugging himself and feeling some certain type of way, bro. She's definitely bad. First initial impression, I enjoyed this movie. This movie's got some issues. This movie also has some truly epic freaking moments inside of it, bro. Elizabeth Olsen blew me away. Scarlet Witch ran away with this movie as I thought and knew that she would. Virgo, what about you?
Oh man, I thought it was alright. It had its moments. I was just shocked. How dark it was. That really surprised me, and that's what we needed.
That's what I love about
Yes.
this movie.
That's what we
Yes.
needed.
We know you.
I pretty much enjoyed the movie. Like I said, there were some things I didn't like, but then I take things for what they are. I'm not too critical on it, but I'm just like, all right, that's what happened. All right, simple as that.
Sad. You came in with this movie with a negative out view. You weren't as positive as most people were. So I want to know, did this movie change your mind?
Jody Joe, sad is happy. Yes, this movie not only changed my mind, it exceeded my expectations.
That's right.
I'm glad to be proven wrong.
That's right.
I am actually happy for you all, because if you're watching this spoiler-free review, you haven't seen the movie. So if you haven't seen the movie, then you got a great ride ahead of you. So I'm excited for y'all at home watching this.
As you just seen, Sal Ward truly impressed by this movie. I am going to agree with what he said there. Those of you guys who haven't seen this movie yet, You guys have a treat in store for yourselves. I would like to thank everybody who has not spoiled this movie, and everybody who has. Your mother sucks cocks in hell. Cole, you're up.
I thought this movie was gonna be good. It's better than good for me. It's actually better than my expectations, but in a direction that I didn't think they would go. I didn't even think that the direction that they went. I wasn't even thinking that. But hey, man, more power to them for doing that. I agree with y'all. It was darker than I expected, but I don't feel like it went too dark, which is good because it's MCU. How dark can they really go? But it did go darker than I expected. So I was like, what the freak? The surprises were surprises. I'm shocked at some of the surprises and the direction they had it. Like, what the freak? So a lot of what the freak moments in this movie. So, for me, and definitely better than the first one. So that's a huge plus.
This movie is absolutely better than the first movie.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people who absolutely love this movie. This is going to be, in many MCU fans, top 5. I think this is going to insert itself into a lot of MCU fans' top 5 favorite movies. This movie is baffling to me a little bit because I think about Scott Derrickson. He was put off of this movie because of creative differences, because he wanted to make a darker film. Then they brought on Sam Raimi. It makes me feel, why did Scott Derrickson have to leave? Because this shit went dark.
Right.
The first ever Marvel horror movie. Right. No, it's going to be PG-13. You're gonna like, this was a great representation of a freaking MCU horror movie. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking at Sam Raimi like, dang, dog, Sam Raimi came in and said, let me show this nigga Scott Derrickson how to make a real horror movie while still living in the confounds of the MCU.
Matching the tone.
They
God
had
damn.
great horror moments.
They did.
Certain things that have come from horror films, certain movements or whatever you want to call it, certain things were textbook horror that work every single time. And I can see little kids being scared and still having fun at the same time.
Yeah.
I don't see little kids should watch this movie. I think a lot of little kids are going to be shook. I'm not going to show this to my son.
Yeah, some of that stuff is a little...
It gets a little dark.
Like, whoa.
There was at least 10, 15 kids in our theater with their moms for Mother's Day.
I didn't hear no crying though.
You gotta watch the age.
Yeah, they was
silent. There was a lot of adults in there. I didn't see no kids.
See, what I like about this is Sam put some taste to Doctor Strange. You know, what Doctor Strange is about, as they call it, and how he is in the comic books and how he's portrayed. Like, I like that. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't portrayed right in the first one at all. But this one, yeah, big time.
But aren't these the same, Jody? Are these are the same kids that watch Pirates of the Caribbean? I think it's that kind of dark.
I've never seen Pirates, but this was pushing it.
That's a good.
This was they were talking about.
Right?
Yeah.
There was symbolism, demonic-ish nature type of themes, creatures, ghouls. I mean, that type of stuff is gonna scare kids, man.
And it's interesting too because I had saw like on the credits and I had brought it up to you that even though Scott Derrickson was out as director, they kept him on as executive producer. So he's still tied to the film somehow, some way. So he still has some input. So I thought that was dope that they decided to keep him on. And like I said, Sam Raimi has a horror background. So a lot of people will only know him for Spider-Man because that's what really kind of blew him up. But for those who are fans of him, know his horror background. So I like that he brought in horror and a superhero and combined them together as one, which is very rare to actually see, especially since when you think of Doctor Strange, a lot of people aren't going to think of a horror type of thing. They just think of like the magic and all the stuff like that. So to actually do that, I think that was a bit of a risk. And I'm glad that they took that risk because I think that is going to definitely pay off. And who knows where this is going to go in the future, because we know this isn't going to be the last time we see Doctor Strange. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do with his character going forward. And I think they should keep Sam Raimi around.
And the books are dark. The books are dark. The artwork's dark. His costume was dark. So getting a dark movie, my favorite thing about the movie is that they threw away the playbook on this. They did not go the Marvel formula. You know what I'm saying?
And how refreshing, how
Yeah.
refreshing was it for me to see in this movie where there was Danny Elfman scored this film.
Yes.
The score was good.
The great Danny
But the
Elfman.
music for this film, the choice of the music, I have some issues with. It shined, and then some issues I'm like, why are they playing this song, this type of tone to this scene? It was totally
I
different.
think I know what you. I think I
It-
know. I know
it was
one scene. I know
different.
one scene you're
I-
talking about.
I feel like the directorial vision for certain parts didn't match. I could see where it could have went musically when the writer was writing, like, oh, this is gonna work, this is gonna work. But maybe it was because of where we saw it and how we saw it, but it didn't come across musically on the parts that I thought it would have been.
It should have.
Yes.
Like there was some
especially
scenes
with Danny Elfman.
There were some scenes here where you really could have hammered it home with a real ominous score.
Yeah, I agree.
Like someone like fuck, like this. Maybe that makes me think like Kevin Feige has something to do with that. Like, yo, this is too dark. This is too
Even
much.
some of the music that they
Like-
used in the trailer was really
I
good.
still think it was too dark. Like regardless, what
Like imagine those scenes with that ominous
epic-
music
yeah.
to go with it. Fuck.
I think you're right. They let certain things go far, but they ain't about to let it go that far because it's not the Disney and Marvel way.
If,
This is the furthest I've ever seen them take it though. So I don't know.
if it goes to Blu-ray, I would love to hear an outside score. Like as they have bonus points, it's like give me some heavy.
So basically, we say we like what Danny Elfman did, but I think he could have done better. Fargo, what's up?
Yeah, I was just thinking about just the whole demonic thing. Like besides the score, you know what I'm saying? Besides
Right.
the score, like I feel like you could have went dark without that. You know what I'm saying? Like
They did go dark without it.
No, they didn't. If you look at
Are you saying that they needed the score for it to be dark?
no, I'm saying I'm subtracting the score. I'm talking about them using demonic symbols in general. Like you know what I'm saying?
Oh, they coulda went dark without the symbol.
They could have done it without
I
it.
agree.
And I'm just like, why? Like, I mean, I know we got a glimpse of certain. Oh, okay, I'm trying not to go too far.
Right.
But yeah, but we could have done it without it. you know?
There were some scenes in this movie where Wanda's on screen and everything just feels so dark and eerie, but the score was silent. And it was really just pauses of just no sound,
Actually, like those.
which I like that.
Yeah, I like
There
that
was-
too.
They used no score to tell the story to help us feel the seriousness of it.
Right.
And I enjoy that. Sometimes a good score is no score.
I like that too. It reminded me of, and because of Sam Raimi, it reminded me of that scene in Spider-Man 2 with Dr. Octopus on the table. And when all the doctors was trying to get the shit off his back.
Oh
he was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
And all you heard was the
going
sound.
to work.
Yeah.
But there was no music there.
Yeah.
And it felt very horror. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And I like the fact that you said they didn't have any music there for certain parts, like with her character in particular, because we all knew going into she was probably going to be the most ominous person in this movie. A lot of people were really looking forward to see where her character was going after WandaVision, and to see just how far she was going to go with her powers and everything like that. And I still believe that we still haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg with her powers.
I agree.
I think she's probably going to go even further.
I feel
than
like
this.
we're done with her. I feel like we've gotten that. I feel like she's shown. I think she's shown enough.
So you don't think no more of her?
I
Or-
think we need to move on.
I don't.
I think
I
think
was-
they're
I
going to
was-
bring her back.
I was happy.
Bring her back. But I'm saying this whole mad reality warping, my children, we need to move past that.
I was happy at the way they used her, and they did not use her any way I'd ever imagined or expected. I was completely surprised and like Jody would say, refreshed. But I guarantee you that almost everybody in this room likes her more now. I definitely like her 150% more than I liked her 2 months ago.
Or in
poster-wise,
WandaVision.
Or definitely in WandaVision.
She's great here.
This is her guitar solo, in my opinion. Her crescendo, or whatever you want to call
Crescendo,
it,
yeah.
man. This was, and Jody says she looked like a snack. I mean, she definitely looked like a meal. Seeing her with full makeup, seeing her in different lights, because they played around in WandaVision, showed what she would have looked like in the 70s and 60s and all that black and white stuff.
She looked
None
good
of-
then too, though.
But this was, I guess, her coming out party without, you know what I mean? This is her in all her glory, because I was so angry on WandaVision when they used a corny looking Halloween costume. I have been wanting to see her like they show her on the poster, but sometimes you just give a woman smoky eyes and it carries it all the way home.
This movie is very much hers as it is Doctor Strange's.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
This movie's called Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is a lead, but this movie couldn't exist without Wanda. And this movie shines because of Wanda. Like, Doctor Strange's no chump, though.
Yeah.
But
Doctor Strange does his thing, but compared to some of the things that they have Wanda doing in this movie, you would you miss a lot of the stuff Doctor Strange does. You really will miss some of the things and some of the things that he's able to do in this movie, because he has some really impressive feats in this movie.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
But they're just usurped by what Wanda does.
Exactly.
It kept seeming like in this movie that she was more leading more with her than him, and I kind of wasn't feeling that, but then it kept going more back to him.
Well, it happened.
Right.
Wanda outclassed Doctor Strange in his own movie. How do you feel?
That's a disappointment right there.
I'm not disappointed at all.
You said it in my ear, and I was actually upset at you because I don't feel like you said it in my ear. So 15 minutes in, I'm like, oh wow, this is going to be a good movie. I knew 15 minutes in, unless they did something really stupid. You know how the teacher in grade school be like, all right, it's the first day of school, everybody has an A+. You know what I mean? All you can do is mess it up from here. 15 minutes in, I was like, this is great. And then about 25, 30, 40 minutes in, he was like, she just usurped Doctor Strange. I'm like, yeah, but it has a purpose. It's not like he's second fiddle. I thought it was going to be more like a SJW situation, and I didn't get that feel. I was very complete with with her power levels and his power levels. I feel like they're on different planes, but I felt like Doctor Strange still held his own.
It's still a Doctor Strange movie. That doesn't change the fact that having another character be better than you and usurp you in your own film is a knock to Doctor Strange, because it is. But this is a knock that we actually like.
Right.
And I kind of knew, you was gonna say something, Flash?
Go ahead, Trent.
And I kind of knew, like, even at at the end of WandaVision, when she finally became what we now know as the Scarlet Witch, and how they were telling her, don't read from the dark hole, because even though that's a book, like really kind of dedicated to you, like what it could actually possibly mean.
Right.
I said she already had, powers and everything like that. This was just going to amplify her powers, but it's going to take her into another darker place that she probably can't even get herself out of. And I said back then, I kind of figured that she was going to be one of the most powerful beings in the MCU. And we kind of saw that a little bit even at the end of Endgame, when she damn near destroyed Thanos when she raised him up and was stripping away his armor and almost killed him. He had to literally do a suicide thing to like bring everything. Like when we kind of saw that then, and that was before she got the Darkhold. So we already knew that what level she was gonna be at. And then of course taking the fact that she has these high levels of emotions. She's like the thought of losing her kids that we know don't really exist. Like, she doesn't want to hear all that. That's why she's always in that constant state of denial. And then it's almost like an internal fight with herself of what is real and what is not. So you take all of that and throw all of that in there, that's like a recipe for disaster.
Well, you were correct that this movie does boost Wanda for me, because that TV show, bro.
That TV show was absolutely rough and tough.
Yeah.
Especially when you compare that TV show to this movie. It's
Right.
like, jeez, why'd you do that?
So while you correct that this movie boosts her, for me too, but at the same time, I know the show is over, but because of this movie, that TV show got worse for me, bro.
But you know what,
The
Cole?
TV show got worse. I'll explain it in the spoiler
Yes.
field, but TV show just went all the way down now. Like, god damn.
That
let
TV
me ask
show
you a
is
question,
always at the
Cole.
bottom anyway.
What's up?
There was a lot of. I feel like the TV show was almost promotion, building her credit up, getting her more familiar. We got a chance to get to know her. Whether we liked her or not, she gained.
What he's saying is watching the TV show really helped you into this movie.
And she
Because there's
gained
some
more
many-
followers.
I hear
There
him.
are ticket buyers that probably would never have gone to see this movie.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
If you don't
This was
watch
her-
WandaVision,
she might be Jermaine Jackson, but this was her.
if you
solo
don't
album.
watch WandaVision, you won't know what's going on with her motivations in this movie.
That's a fact.
So you need to watch WandaVision to fully understand this movie.
which is a great because I feel like this movie moved the if Marvel was a football game, this movie got us to another first down. It helps the overall, for the next 10 years. Of
Nah,
Marvel
I think this movie did more than that.
but it wasn't a throwaway movie. It is a pivotal
I think
part.
this movie was big. This
Yeah,
is a
this shit was
multiverse
big.
movie, bro. This is a big movie, man.
But I mean,
What we
but-
saw tonight
Nuggets
was
they dropped.
big.
The Nuggets they dropped.
Yeah, bro. This shit
shit
is
gonna
this-
echo,
nah,
bro.
nigga, this is
But
a whole
what-
other football field.
Very surprising.
But
Very
what I'm saying is the whole Marvel universe has progressed and moved forward.
Shang-Chi was the first down.
Yes, I want. Yeah.
Eternals,
Touchdown.
touchdown. Black Widow. Give it to her first down.
No way,
No
I won't give her a first down.
Yeah.
But Shang-Chi felt a little
Black Widow was a Hail Mary. They
independent.
didn't pan out.
Eternals felt a little independent. This is enveloped in everything else we've been watching for the last 10 years.
He got a point.
You see what I'm saying?
Because
No,
It's a part of the whole. It's a big puzzle piece. You know what I mean?
It's something that it echoes later.
This
though.
movie is big, but Eternal still makes it look small.
You think
From a
so?
narrative standpoint, sure.
Narratively, yeah. Eternals
Yeah.
is bigger than this.
We're talking about the narrative currently.
We can talk about it in the spoiler review as well. But
Yeah.
overall, we all liked it. We're gonna go around the horn, give our grades for this movie. We're gonna start over there with Star Wars. You know what? We're gonna go back over there to E. E. Final thought. Grade this bad boy.
I give this movie a B plus. I give it a B plus. I mean, it has some really enjoyable moments in it. I like the dark elements, and I was feeling that a lot. I'm glad Marvel finally allowed themselves to finally reach that level. I wasn't expecting to see what I saw, and that's why it gets what it gets.
All right, B plus for my man E man. Let's go ahead and holler at my dog Flash.
This movie was really good. It hits a lot of points and made a lot of characters, Wanda, boost a lot. But I didn't get that boost from Strange at all in this movie at all.
I can see why he says that. He could be over. A lot of his feats can be overlooked by what else we saw in this movie.
So, but my grade is still gonna be high, A, because this movie is still an excellent movie.
All right. All right, so that's it. We got a B plus from E. We got an A from Flash. Tyree and Rain.
I'm gonna still hold on to my A, and I'm standing firm on that. I really enjoyed this movie, and more importantly, I was invested into it. Like, it kept my attention the entire time. Like, think about how the movie started off. They started off like hitting it heavy, like immediately. Like, it's almost like they jumped right into it. Like they didn't like do any build up, anything. Like, they jumped right into the action, and I really enjoyed seeing that. But yeah, I'm still holding on to the A. I really enjoyed the movie. I can't wait to see what they're gonna do with the Doctor Strange character going forward. Get another movie. If they do give him another movie, hopefully it doesn't take another 7 years, because he had a huge gap between his first movie and this one. So, but yeah, I'm gonna give it an A.
High praises so far. Virgo, what you got?
I'm gonna agree with E. B plus.
B
B
plus.
plus. Yes, solid
B
grade.
plus.
I was really attracted to the darkness of the movie, like just
Ooh.
some of the blood, all the stuff we seen in it. I was like, wow, okay, they really doing this. And
Yeah.
Wanda, she did her thing, and I'm glad she didn't 100% take over the scene like I thought it was gonna happen, but it did. And shout out to WandaVision and What If for like giving little sprinkles here and there. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that's what helped boost this movie too as well.
Big time.
Yeah, so I'm gonna stick with that. It's a great movie.
Sad. How you feeling, bro? Mr. Negative.
Mr. Negative. What did Biggie Small say? I turn a negative to a
positive,
positive, and it's all good, baby.
If you don't know, now you know. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm close to the Flash's grade. I'm hanging closely around an A minus, maybe an A. I have.
We need a final grade, my brother. We don't do 2 grades here.
I know. It's.
Do you mean to come back to you? Do you need time?
No.
You got a lot of time to think. We don't need to be floating. There's a big difference between an A and an A minus, my friend.
But I don't want people because some of the guys said that, based on Doctor Strange. I don't care what you called the movie. It could be called Groot. The movie is the movie. I got an A out of this movie.
An
Because
A.
of the Easter eggs. Yep.
Solid A. Fantastic. Code.
My bad. This movie's an A for me. Let me just start with that. It's an A.
Woo!
I didn't want to give it an A. I didn't want to give it an A.
You're happy about that, aren't you? Huh?
I kind of knew he was going to.
Okay.
I have some issues with this movie, but those issues are creative choices within the movie, so I can't really fault it for that. That's me not liking the decisions they made. You get what I'm saying? Now, if it was outright bad, objectively bad, then I would have dropped my grade. But since it's I feel like it's just my personal feelings towards some Dr. Phil moments in this movie, bro. But anyways, so that's why I'm gonna keep it as my A. I'm gonna keep it as my A, and I ain't gonna hurt it from that. And I like you don't like when I say it, but the moment-to-moment action in this movie is really good. And when they did slow down, that shit upset me. I was like, let's go, let's keep going. Like, why you stopping?
I'm not that type of person.
I was like, let's go.
I don't need moment-to-moment action inside of a movie like this.
Me neither. But once you start, I don't want you to stop. You started it, and then you gonna slow. I'm like,
We got to get some narrative and story somewhere, my
they
brother.
started
You
it,
can't
they
just
started
have
it.
all action.
They
What is-
started
You
it.
can't. With 2
Yeah.
hours of runtime,
They started it, bro.
You need some real narrative.
I'm gonna say this. There's no way this movie was 2 hours. It feels like longer than 2 hours.
Well,
We talked about it. Because
Well, at first I kind of thought that, but then you got to think about the previews. We don't count those.
we don't count those.
We don't count the previews. So
Whatever
I mean,
they count the runtime as, I'm not sure.
it did feel like it was longer, but like I said,
Credits was
I'm-
20 minutes.
Crazy, long as shit.
Yeah, because they count those too. As the credits too. But it did feel like it was longer than 2 hours, but it didn't feel like it dragged.
Felt like 2:15.
It didn't feel like it dragged though, which is a good thing.
No,
shit felt
this
short to
movie, in my opinion, this movie, I had a I had a C or a C plus prediction for this movie, and you know sometimes players F up. You know what I'm saying?
You mean, are you,
Sometimes players F
was
up.
that hold on? Was that C from the Damas?
I didn't Jody Damas that C minus.
Okay.
I just said I'm lowering my expectations.
Okay.
If I expect a C and a C plus, I won't be so disappointed. And I'm gonna be honest, man. There was some times in this watching this movie, I was blown away. I said, "This is nice." Ooh, I was so excited. And good job at people for keeping stuff under wraps. Marvel, you did a really good job at that. This movie, you guys are really high on the movie. I'm high on the movie. But I can't give this movie an A because you could just do this to the plot and unravel a lot in this movie. The spoiler review, I'll break down every single last thing. Because this script is complex and it could be unraveled. Just pull one string and it could just all fall apart. And I noticed that I don't like that. Besides that, this movie's quite special, man. It's one of the better ones. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a movie that I believe every MCU fan would like, and I believe every super comic book loving person would like. I had some comic book heads sitting next to me, and I almost wanted to slit my own throat. That's how excited these motherfuckers were, bro. Tyree, he knows.
Yeah.
I was. Shit is crazy. But all in all, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a fantastic film that is a callback to old school MCU in 2022. I had no idea that they could do it. They took it there with the darkness. They're surprising me and showing me that they're willing to show some graphic content in the MCU. Kevin Feige's willing to bend a little bit, and that just makes me happy. Marvel is on a hit streak, bro. Besides Black Widow, they're perfect out the gate. Phase 4 is fighting to be the best phase of the MCU history.
Was Black Widow part of 4?
Yeah,
Yes.
she kicked off 4.
I give this movie an A minus.
Wow.
This movie's fantastic, guys. Subscribe to the channel. Check out the spoiler-filled review, which I'm going to drop Sunday, probably Saturday, Sunday night, for all your spoiler needs. Thank you guys so very much for watching. We are the Just Us League, and we out this thing. Deuces. Told you that we leaving.
Like, comment, and subscribe, you guys. Thumbs that video, $3.99 all day. Let us know what you think about it. Like it, don't like it. If you like this movie, let us know what's the deal, bro. Keep it a buck and do it.
Do it now.